Mike Kelly Show, your weekly look at Valdosta State University football with Blazer head coach Mike Kelly and studio host John Lastinger.
The Mike Kelly Show is brought to you by
Wendy's, the best hamburgers and a whole lot more.
Columbia Houston Sports Medicine Hospital in Columbus.
Astro Exterminating Services. When pests grow, call Astro.
Winn-Dixie, America's supermarket.
Nigem Diamonds and Gold with locations in Valdosta and Lake Park.
Nations Bank, the power to make a difference.
Super Kmart, where you save on everything at once.
Bud Light, if you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
The Georgia Lottery, the most fun $1 can buy.
Owens Sporting Goods in Albany, one stop for all your sporting needs.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right.
Alltel Communications, your personal communications solution.
And by Coca-Cola, always the real thing, always Coca-Cola. Now let's go to the studio with Mike Kelly and John Lastinger.
Carlton Nelson lined up in the backfield. We're going to hand off to Ray. Ray goes straight ahead, headed for the end zone. Touchdown, Valdosta State University.
Welcome to the show. It's our weekly look at VSU Blazer football highlights. Well, the road show continued for the third straight week. This time the Blazers travel to Fort Valley to face the Fort Valley State College Wildcats in a good ball game dominated by Blazer defense, and a couple of freshmen come out. Coach Mike Kelly gets his first victory. Blazers win it 10-0. Now 1-2 on the season. Coach, right away, first of all, congratulations. I know that's a
Thank you.
That's a load off your shoulders there.
It's good to finally get a mark under the W column.
It's let's talk about it. I mean, like you said, defense played well, and you got some guys starting to grow up.
Yeah, our defense played the way I'd always envisioned them playing. They didn't give up the big play that hurt us. They put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and we had two young pups that kind of stepped out of the kennel a little bit, and Wendell Olden and Marcus Ray. We were hoping that the tandem together would maybe give us some Vontrell Mitchell type numbers, and each one of them put up Vontrell Mitchell type numbers. So we're going to find a way to win, and last night it was running the football.
A good victory. We'll look at some of the young stars when we come back.
The odds of your child touching the stars are out of this world. The chance she'll grow up to be a famous architect is somewhat more down to earth. But the chances are more than 1 in 4 your baby isn't fully protected against childhood diseases. Be sure his baby shots are on schedule. Ask your doctor at every visit. Give your child the chance to be whatever he wants, even if it's a rock star. Even if you're sure, ask again.
What are you going to take?
Algebra.
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 If no one's explained how algebra, geometry, and calculus can improve your future, demand that you be told. Call NACME. We'll tell you.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can shape the future, one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives, and I know I have.
Who knows where my influence may stop?
I teach.
I teach.
I teach.
Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I think I have the power to change the world. The influence is always there.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero, to change someone's life? Reach for that power. Teach. If you want to make an impact on our future, call 1-800-45-TEACH. Want to change the world?
I teach.
I teach. I teach.
I teach. I teach.
Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Thank you for joining us, Coach. You're 0-2, the week of practice. Sometimes that can be difficult to get a team motivated. Anything special this week?
Our guys have been pretty good and pretty level-headed about where we are and where we were. And I had a real good meeting on Tuesday with all the seniors and the captains. And I was impressed that they were comfortable enough to really voice some of the opinions that they had, and not that anything was drastic or earth-shaking. It was just an opportunity for me to reconfirm some of the thoughts that I already had about what was going on with the football club, and I think we had a good week of work and just honing in on a package and getting after it, and the guys went out and played hard again.
Let's go to the first half highlights. If my record, or if the history book is correct, this is the first trip for the Blazers ever to Fort Valley. Of course, we've played them a number of times, but the first time we've played in Fort Valley on the campus of Fort Valley State, and you're receiving the kickoff here.
Yeah, Wendell Olden takes the kickoff, and that's the best kickoff return we've had throughout the entire season to this point. And then we come right back and give Wendell the ball again. Come out throwing it, and got a little pressure there. He had a receiver knocked down downfield. Come out again, and can't seem to find anybody open downfield, and we give up a sack. So it's an inauspicious start. And Wayne Devane again does a nice job punting. I believe this was a 47-yard punt, and we got good coverage there. Derek Dixon got high enough, but he didn't stay to the outside shoulder. But David Fox again does a nice job. And then here comes the defense. We were concerned about the size of Fort Valley's line. You can see right there that they got tons of fun there on the left side, and our guys just kept coming after them all the time. And I think eventually our conditioning and our speed just wore them down. Applied pressure to a quarterback who we were concerned about. We went after this punt right away and forced him to pull it down and make the play there on the 15-yard line and just trying to make something happen. And we come out and unfortunately throw 3 incompletions in a row here. As we found out later in the game that running the ball was really the way to go, and came away with nothing there. They get the ball back, trying to get something going, and our defense really was swarming around. And if you're watching the tape here, we end up with 6, 7 black helmets in the film all the time. Now this is a little play here where it's actually a run called, but if they don't have contain, the quarterback has the option to pull the ball, and he did. Throws a nice strike to Mike Bowman, comes out and hits Dennis Frizzell, another freshman. Then we come with the toss to Wendell Olden, and he takes it in for a score, but those guys in the black and white striped shirts really wanted everybody to know that they were there and called that one back. It was like playing against 17 most of the night.
A shovel pass here.
Shovel pass to Carlton Nelson, and that sets up a field goal that wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but it went through, and there's our first points in the first half all season long, so I was pretty excited about it.
James Lightfoot, 42 yards, Blazers up 3-0.
Here they're running the stretch play there, get a little crease. Terry Turner gets a little fooled by the misdirection there, and they can't really do anything with it. We come back, and here's Marcus Ray from Valdosta High School, who really put on a show last night. 119 yards in his first ever college game, scored a touchdown, and the man goes north and south. And if he keeps developing and shows the things like he did last night, he's going to really be a fine football player for us.
You said he reminded you of Sam Cunningham, which is, for some of us a little older, can remember Sam. Days with the Southern Cal and I think the New England Patriots.
Are we dating ourselves here?
That's right, we are.
Here Jason really puts something on the ball, and it ricochets off of Dennis Frizzell and goes up in the air, and one of those unfortunate interceptions right down there on the 3-yard line. So again, we're knocking on the door. And now I'm getting a little nervous because this is looking like the last 2 games to me.
This is their big play here, 62-yard completion. Their longest of the night. If you take this one away, they have right at 150 yards of total offense. So this was by far their biggest play of the night.
And they come up with a field goal attempt here, and our 2 guys under the post aren't quite sure what they should call, and then they finally call it no good.
And Blazers still up 3-0, second quarter. Correction, still in the first quarter.
Here we throw a nice strike to Carlos Hope, who, Carlos is coming along, and he's going to be a contributor before it's all said and done. Hand the ball off to Wendell Olden here, and here's a 153-pound guy banging it up inside there, and I just thought he played with a lot of courage.
18 carries, 99 yards for Wendell Olden.
Nice to hear 119 out of one back and 99 out of another. And everybody's been talking about this CFL style of play and how we're going to throw it and everything. We're going to do whatever it takes to win. And
absolutely.
Whether it's run or throw. And 2 years in the CFL, 3 years in the CFL that I was up there, we led the league in rushing. So this isn't anything new to us. Now we come back with some play action here, and this was a growing point right there for Jason Vaughn, that he saw some green, didn't have to throw the ball, didn't force it anywhere, just took the 6-yard gain on his own.
A lot of gang tackling by your defense. I know your coordinator, Mark Nelson, got to be happy with that.
Well, you know, it's something we talk about. We want to see 11 black helmets in the screen every time that a ball carrier comes down, and you know, we came pretty close to that on many occasions. Here's Wendell hitting the crease again. Now we come back and give it to Marcus, same play, a little different look though when you're giving it to two different backs like that, because they are different styles. Here we bang it up inside with John Taylor. We put in a little counter dive type play for this week because I was not satisfied with our short yardage game. And here a blade of grass was just taller than Wendell, I guess, and tripped him up. And Marcus Ray's banging it inside again, and we're just eating up the clock here. Now our center gets beaten there and gets a little pressure there on the quarterback, and he can't really step and throw the fade route, and we don't come away from anything on that scoring opportunity. And you know, here we go again, just closing to the football. I thought both of our free safeties, Jerome Mills and Jamal Stevens, played very, very well last night.
Good to have Jerome Mills back after injuring his shoulder against Georgia Southern 2 weeks ago.
Nice to have a little depth, and you know, I was just real pleased with the way the guys were playing. They kept their heads up, and you know, here we come back, and you know, we should have an opportunity to make something happen. And we forced a ball that just, you know, shouldn't have been thrown there. And he had the opportunity to run it where he did a couple plays earlier, and he didn't there. And, you know, again, you know, that's what young kids do. And, you know, it was something that...
Fort Valley, a team known for having great defensive backs. Eddie Anderson with the Oakland Raiders, and then Tyrone Poole, a #1 draft pick by the Carolina Panthers.
We knew this quarterback was going to be evasive, and you know, I didn't want him running around too much last night, and he really didn't, but when he did, he was fairly effective. Here's Jerome stepping up in front, you know, making a nice interception, stopping any kind of threat that they had. I don't think that they ever crossed the 29-yard line in the course of the whole game. You know, run the shovel, a little screen pass, shovel pass there to the fullback, and come back with Wendell. And as you can see, if you've been watching the previous two shows, Wendell's really going north and south now a lot better than what he was.
Blazers lead it by a score of 3-0 at the half. When we return, second half highlights.
While walking in a toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say.
I don't like red, said yellow, and green said, nor do I. And no one here likes orange, but no one knows just why.
Well, I bought that box of crayons and took it home with me and drew with all the colors so the crayons could all see.
That each of us is special and everyone's unique, but it's when we get together that the picture is complete.
You know trouble can start when the clock hits 3. When there's no place after school for kids to be. Nothing to do but hanging on city streets. When mom and dad are working to make ends meet. Now it's time to beat the street.
With after-school programs, city kids aren't left alone and vulnerable. They keep on learning between 3 and 6, but these programs need your support. Join with the Urban League to keep them going. Call now, because it's
time to beat the street.
Be cool about fire safety.
Do you know how to escape from your home if there's a fire? You gotta have a plan. They didn't have a plan. But these people do. Grown-ups can make it, and firemen can help.
Okay, in case of a fire, you and your sister are to go out this door.
Or we can always go out that way. We have 2 exits, okay?
So make sure your family has an escape plan, whether you live in a house or building.
You gotta have an escape plan, and you be a step ahead. Be cool about fire safety. If you don't want to get burned, be cool about fire safety. You got a lot to learn.
And remember, practice makes perfect.
It could save your life.
And your family.
So tell your parents, we gotta have a plan.
Be cool about fire safety. Be cool.
Blazers lead it at the break. Coach, you mentioned start of the show, conditioning. You really felt like that would be a factor.
Yeah.
Kind of odd, third game of the season, but I mean, you really felt like you would win that battle.
Yeah, you know, we worked real hard, as everybody probably read in the paper, that I was not going to lose the game in the fourth quarter because we weren't in shape. And the guys that couldn't hang with that have left us, and the guys that did hang are in pretty good shape now. And I think that really started to show even as early as the middle of the second quarter that we were wearing down both their offensive and defensive line, and we kept coming, and they were just running out of gas.
Let's take a look at the second half highlights. You'll really see a lot of defense here. I mean, you Blazers, I mean, a lot of quarterback sacks, a lot of guys around the football, and
I think, how many sacks did we have? We had
7 sacks
yeah.
for the night. So
you know, that's pretty good. Here, James Lightfoot kicks the ball down, puts it in the end zone again. They can't return it, and then we come right out, and here they are trying to run a little toss, and Ardo makes a nice play coming down the line of scrimmage. You can see, you know, Terry Turner getting pressure there, and then here comes David Fox as we flush him out. And, Brad Trout putting on some pressure, and then here we go. We went after the kick again.
Well, it looked like you almost got every one of them.
We really came close, and if anything else, we just rattled the kid. And now here we come. And we said, there's no sense in messing around with these people. Let's just go beat them up. The only thing I said to the team at halftime was, there's 2 guys that I want with me in a street fight, and that's Matt Dunnigan and Mark Nelson. If anybody else would like to come along, follow me. And out the door we went, and let me tell you, these guys came for a street fight. Now here's another freshman. There's Hunter Taylor, number 60, you know, coming in and making a play right there.
Antonio Speed as well, back on offense.
And here we come. You know, we had a nice crackback block there by Winston Williams, just decleated the outside backer, gave us a corner for Wendell to get around. And now here we come, you know, with a little dive play, and Wendell's able to bounce it, and you know, he's got great vision. He really
right.
does.
You can't coach that right there.
No. You know, and he is going north and south now, and you know, right there is the one problem. You know, that a bigger man is just going to be able to pick him up and drive him backwards. But here we come. Now we're using a little play action. Come around the corner. Jason throws a jump ball up, and Winston Williams does a nice job of a 42-yard gain right there, longest of the evening.
Winston Williams has only catch for 42 yards, right.
And now we come back with a pitch, and the guy just slips off a block there and brings Wendell down. And now we come back, and Wendell sticks it up inside there, and you know, that's really good running. He moves the pile there, and he's 153 pounds. You know, I think I weighed that in about 10th grade. And,
Marcus
Ray bangs it in again, you know, for a touchdown, and they let us keep this one, and then we split the uprights for the extra point, and there it's 10-0.
6:08 remaining in the third quarter. Of course, the first touchdown for Marcus Ray.
Here we are putting on good pressure again, and Brad Trout had an opportunity for an interception there, and Tremaine Neal, nice coverage on the tight end. They're going with a different quarterback now. They just couldn't get anything going, and this was a talented young man. Brad Trout again making a nice play there to bat the ball down. Here we come after it again, and this was probably their best punt of the evening, but you know, I don't think they give them 2.5 yards, which they're supposed to give, you know, for the receiving team, and but that wasn't called. And
good job by Eric Doggett making the catch.
Yeah, it showed a lot of courage there on his part. You know, then we come with a little bounce play, and Wendell bounces it out, and then I had told Marcus Ray before the game that God did not intend him to make moves on people, and and you could see he just kept smashing it up in there. And here we put pressure on again with Shad Freeman, and you know, he's just playing good football right now. Look at David Fox, just never stops, just keeps coming and coming. And Terry Turner had done a nice job by pinning the quarterback in, and you know, get a little bit of pressure again. That wasn't even a pressure situation there, but our outside people again made the punter look at him, and he shanks one off the side of his foot. And
I think that was a 13-yard punt, so Blazers come away with decent field position.
We had them rattled. And this is a little delay play that we have. Wendell probably should have kept that one a little bit outside, but still does a nice job, and you know, picks up good yardage for us. And then we give it to Marcus, and you know, Marcus just keeps churning. He just keeps running through people, and I was very, very impressed with that young man Saturday evening. Here he is again. You know, he's moving people backwards. He just keeps going forward. And I think our line is starting to feel their oats a little bit too, that they can start doing something. We come back with the pitch now, so we're kind of developing a Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside tandem here. I hope they end up as good as Craig James and Eric Dickerson, but that'll yet to be seen.
You got it.
You know, here goes Marcus again, banging it up inside. John Taylor does a nice job with a lead block there to spring him. And here we are banging on the door again. Now here we come with a toss, And here goes Marcus, north and south. It's the only way he knows how to go. And brings it down inside the 15.
I think you're right. Your offensive line getting a little more confident.
Yeah, you know, and here we give it to Marcus again. Runs it in for another touchdown, but guess what? We got a late flag away from the play, and they just didn't want us scoring in that particular stadium.
One of 12 penalties, I think, called on the Blazers for the night.
Yeah, there was a definite imbalance in it. And here we apply pressure again. Tremaine Neal had him pinned up. Brad Trout coming on a strong safety blitz, and we just let him get away. But, you know, the young man's a good athlete. And here, Jesse Sutton, I thought, was going to break the poor kid's spine the way he came in on him with a clean shot like that. And here comes Jesse again. He just didn't stay to the upfield shoulder. And the man is evasive and got away. And then Brad Trout comes up with a big interception.
2 times Jesse Sutton not even blocked, but great pursuit on his part. And then you come right back with Wendell Logan.
Yeah, we might as well keep handing it off because it seems to be working pretty well. And, you know, here's Carlton Nelson banging it up in there. Carlton got his first start and I thought really played well. And it's a nice little power combination there we have with Marcus Ray and Carlton Nelson in there.
This is when you sent your punt team on the field late to create a little confusion, and it worked.
Well, you know, we thought we had the first down, and they marked it about 2 yards, not as far down the field as what we thought it was supposed to be marked. And so we said, well, let's sit and wait until the clock was down to 15 seconds and then run down and punt it down inside the 10 and let our defense go play. Rather than try to go for 2 or 3 yards, we thought that was the best way to go. And our defense was fairly well rested, and you know, we didn't feel like they were going to score 10 points in a minute.
Well, I think they got an incomplete call there, and he stepped clearly out of bounds before he threw the football.
Right.
There's Jerome Mills and
Austin
Harmon
yeah.
defending.
And, you know, Alberto Nurse putting on good pressure here, and you know, I couldn't tell there who exactly got the sack, but I got a little Gatorade bath there, and it was nice to be shaking people's hands at the end of a game.
Well, congratulations, Coach. Again, somebody else there getting a little bath there. Blazers win it by a final of 10-0. Some other scores from around the Gulf South. Coach, a couple of surprises. Arkansas Tech, who you will meet next week, but they knock off Delta State, the game they probably weren't favored to win.
Yeah, you know, Delta State was picked by the coaches to win the conference, and Arkansas Tech's playing good football. We're going to have to play well on Saturday.
And then, of course, a big one. Southern Arkansas 16, North Alabama 7.
Yeah, you know, another one that makes me go, oh boy. I think the conference is going to be a little bit more balanced than what people had originally anticipated, and hopefully we can stick our nose in the mix.
Another one of interest, Arkansas State 36, Central Arkansas 35. West Georgia back on the win in the win column, 39-7 over Arkansas Monticello. West Alabama 37, Lane 14. And Northwestern Louisiana 42, Henderson State 7. The Inside Blazer football segment will feature secondary and special teams coach Scott Chandler when we come back.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
Why would anybody give someone they don't know a gift? They do it because this gift saves lives. And the need for it is desperate. We need over 20,000 people to give this precious gift every day. Please give blood. There's a life to be saved right now. Call the American Red Cross at 1-800-GIVE-LIFE.
The only thing that bothers me a bit about Coach Chandler is he's an Elvis freak. He thinks that Elvis is still alive. He's got a little Elvis clock on his wall. He's got an Elvis calendar. You know, if he was mature enough to grow sideburns, he'd probably grow them. He's got this Elvis fetish, easy for me to say, and I don't know what to do about it. So if anybody out there can help me on this one, please give me a call.
Scott Chandler is attracted to those exceptional performers. There's Elvis, but the special teams at VSU are the most important.
We have very good kickers, and Wayne Devane, our punter, and James Lightfoot, our field goal and kickoff kicker. Both of those guys are doing real well for us so far.
Coach Chandler and the special teams are quickly becoming a strength to the red and black.
I think for the most part our special teams have been solid. We've had very few breakdowns, and whenever you have a breakdown in special teams, it's going to hurt you. But for the most part, we've been solid, and Scott has really worked hard at being meticulous at making sure that everything is getting accomplished that we need to get accomplished in the course of a week.
Chandler definitely drills his kickers on accuracy and distance during practice.
What we do on our punt team, we try to cut the field in half, or to a third really, to help our coverage teams. So if we're in the middle of the field, we're going to kick to our right between the hash and the boundary, because that's where Wayne likes to kick it. If we're on a particular hash, we will kick down that hash between the numbers and the hash. So we cut down the field to coverage. So yes, we do work on directional kicking.
The play of special teams is key to any football game. Come watch the Blazers kick off their home season this Saturday. For Inside Blazer Report, I'm Jennifer Caldwell.
Be cool about fire safety.
What would you do if you were on fire? I don't know. Jump in a tub? No, you gotta stop, drop, and roll.
If your clothes catch fire, you gotta drop to the ground. If your clothes catch fire, you gotta roll round and round. You just stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Get down on the ground and stop, drop, and roll. Get down on the ground and don't you ever stand. Roll round and round and cover your face with your hands. You just stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll. Get down on the ground and stop, drop, and roll. Stop, drop, and roll, baby. Give me a heading, Bill.
On January 8th, Amy Narvajo was saved from freezing to death by the National Guard. Were it not for their employers giving them the time to answer the call, this story might have had a different ending. To every employer who supports the Guard and Reserve, thanks for making us your business.
And just a quick reminder, Coach Kelly, your golf tournament coming up on Monday, and should be a good event for you.
Down at Francis Lake Monday. We play our home opener on Saturday and just have the party spill right into Monday, and we're raising money for the Mike Kelly Fight Against Diabetes. All funds go to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation of Georgia, and we start at 1:30 down at Francis Lake. If anybody wants to call Justin Carald at 333-5890, and he'll get you set up.
And we don't have enough time to tell you how excited he is about that home opener, but it should be a great one. Join us next week, highlights for the Blazers against Arkansas Tech. We'll see you then.